It's Thursday's Talking Reds. Big news, Bob Heaton makes his own hummus. I've got Andy Heaton with me and we are rocking and rolling through to the weekend. Cannot wait to see Liverpool play again. I mean, that's the first thing about this weekend's game. Firstly, because of extraneous circumstances, e.g. my life. This is actually my first away since the 1st of September, Watford.
Really?
Yeah.
You're a busy man.
Well, I got married in that, didn't I?
Well,
that was the real sort of, and I'm not saying I regret it, but aways and aways, and you can't compromise on that sort of quality.
Not to invoke Shankly, but you've only got yourself to blame.
Yeah.
Come on, I mean, I got married in June. That was for a reason.
It's not your spare time; it's Liverpool's spare time, as Bill himself once said. So no, I'm really excited about it. I can't wait for it. Henderson.
I was being married, by the way.
It's the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we had a lovely time.
But you just end up apologising more, generally.
I'm already apologising far too much, pound for pound. Henderson, Watford.
Yes, I'd start him.
Would you?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Why would you start him?
Because I know you wouldn't. Tell me why you wouldn't.
I wouldn't start him because I'd start him in Paris, and I'd start him against Everton, and I might even start him, at Burnley. So I'd have the idea that if he's, Henderson, you're going to have to manage his games anyway. You've got to manage all of the games now, with maybe one exception, or two exceptions, the goalkeeper and Van Dijk across this 11-game run. Yeah. Everyone else, I'll be having my eye on where can we get away with not playing them. And I think this is one where you can get away with not playing Henderson. I think you've got tons of other options there. You've used those other options, so I'd be looking at maybe going Wijnaldum, Keita +1 for Watford. Because the other thing I'd be doing as well is I'd be getting Keita in. I think that Keita wants the run of games, the rhythm, getting used to it, getting himself in. He played last Sunday for Guinea, did 90 minutes. So I'd be playing Keita, I'd be playing Wijnaldum, and then maybe doing one more.
That's Jordan on the phone there.
Saying, pick me for Watford. Yeah. I'll play every game.
No, I'm only messing. I think you're spot on. I think that if there was a game that you'd ring in the diary for Keita, bringing him back into fitness, it would be Watford. Maybe a little bit of a showcase. That's not to knock Watford, by the way, but it's just got a feel of almost like a Palace type, where he had that debut, was encouraging. And also, you know what, I think if he comes in and has a good game, gets the fans behind him again, bit of morale, you can get Henderson sharp as well after that niggle with England. Although, I mean, we've had to chat about this. I'm not convinced he was as injured as what. But then, as Klopp's been fairly solid with England, so maybe it was a little you scratch my back.
I think it was. I think that Southgate knew he owed Klopp a solid, and I think the Henderson thing. I think if it had been the European Cup final, he would have played. Yeah. But instead, I think Southgate helped him out. The key one, the big one. So everyone is really excited to watch Shaqiri. Would you pick him at Watford?
Yeah, I would.
Would you pick him at Watford? Yeah, you go 4-2-3-1 at Watford.
Yeah, because I don't think he's going to start him in Paris.
No.
I don't think he's going to start him in Paris, and I just think, given the form he's in, I mean, look, sometimes you can have ideas about systems and how you're going to play him, formations and whatever, but you've also sometimes got to balance that out with the morale of the squad, and we know that Jurgen's really, really big on this. Yep. I don't see Shaqiri starting in Paris, and so to bomb him out now after doing so well, and basically more than that being done, doing basically what he's been asked to do and adapt his game in a way that he's been asked to adapt it, and to do so well, to then not start could be seen as a bit of a kick in the
So you'd go Wijnaldum, Keita, Shaqiri, Firmino, Salamani?
Yeah, let's say yeah. Let's say yeah.
I mean, you don't know the fitness of them, you haven't got the sports science data, have you?
No, but look, if he's fit and given that he's in form, and the way he seems to be fitting in and getting on with it, I'd start him. And you know what, even from a performance point of view, I think he'd be effective anyway. It wouldn't be like you're starting because we are.
You're not doing him a favour. You think he's going to offer you something?
So I'll go with that. Right, what would you do?
I'm going to ask everyone, so as I'm doing shows building up to the weekend, the question I'm going to ask is, because I asked it after the last game, I said, would you play Shaqiri at Watford? And everyone who said, Shaqiri played, all said no. And it struck me as an interesting thing, and I think we're going to spend a lot of the season all looking at each other going, it'd be great to get more Shaqiri in the side, and then struggling to find where and when you'd pick him. It's tough to pick him at Watford, although I think he might, and I can sort of go with the side that you just said. Yeah. I don't think he picks him in Paris. It's tough to feel as though you're going to pick him in the derby, though I would definitely play him against Everton, because he looks to me like he loves the needle, and I would very much get behind Shaqiri scoring against the Blues, so I'm fine with that one, but I probably wouldn't play him at Burnley. I probably wouldn't play him at Bournemouth, and now before we know where we are, we're right the way through to Napoli at home in the Champions League, and that's very much game specific. So I think it's quite difficult to go, this is where his games are, whereas I think it's quite straightforward to see where Keita's games are, to see obviously where the back four's games are, and how you're going to want to do one or two here and there. And I think the other thing is, we haven't seen Shaqiri really in place of any of the front three. And I maybe like to see that. So maybe if you play him a bit. Well, yeah, I mean, Sean Rodgers was talking about Keita, the idea that he might use him in place of Mane here and there, and think about that. But I just want, for me, the key player in this little run, we're going to do 11 games. And I think if we get 8 out of 10 from Keita, I think we'll have a great run. If we get 8-9 games out of Keita and 8 out of 10 out of him, then I think we're in great shape. And he's almost my key man for this run. It seems a bit counterintuitive because he hasn't played much, but I think he's the one who can shift around, change the shape, change the approach.
But Watford's the approach for the dry run of that.
I'd definitely play him at Watford. Start him at Watford, no shadow of a doubt. He's my get him on the pitch at Watford.
Just onto Shaqiri's dead quick though, you know what I like about him? Apart from the fact he's needly and he's Scouse, he's one of those foreign players, when you see the interviews on last week when he's talking about Gary Neville's shirt, and the grasp, I know it was in his native language, when it's translated into English, it's so beautiful. And to the point in a way that you could never describe it over everything. It's brilliant. I just think my favourite Scouse now.
Your favourite Scouse now is
I'd stick him in goal just to fit him in, actually. Being quite honest.
I think he's definitely got to start against Everton. What with him, wanting to absolutely stick it to the Blues on County Roads, growing up and knowing them his own whole life.
Do you reckon he's rehearsed in celebration
already? He'll have worked that out, I think, definitely. Yeah. He'll thought about the Blues. I think it's very important as well. He also scores at the Anfield Road end. He could be this generation's David Speedy, one for the teenagers. Mignolet being linked with a move away. It says here, the agent says it's unlikely to be January. I don't think we really want. Now he's in his number 2 keeper. I think that's the way it's got to be, unless you'd want one of the young lads on the bench. But for me, I think
it's tough, innit? Because I would have argued to stick one of the young lads in, but I watched the game last night, under 23s, and Shamal George didn't. And I rate Shamal George didn't have the best game. He just didn't look ready, and it was Villarreal were like 2 and 3 steps above, so you got to see maybe what it would be like if it was pushed up 2 or 3 degrees, and it didn't look great. Grabara's obviously on loan at Tranmere, so do you want to disrupt that relationship if he's doing well and getting games and one thing and the other? And then you got Conor Kelleher. Out of all the 3 I've just mentioned, he's the least tested. I know we played in the pre-season. So, I think you'd have to, with Mignolet now, you'd have to consider bringing someone in if you were going to let him go.
Agree. I think you got him to the end of the season now.
Difficult.
Because just imagine Alisson gets a red card in a Champions League quarter-final, but we get through, and then you're in a situation you turn into Kelleher for the semi-final 2-legger.
But something might come up in January where there's an experienced old head, almost like a Paul Jones.
Yeah. The perfect number 2 keeper.
Who come in, happy to play that role, happy to be number 2, happy to train. Kind of like the Manninger thing, but maybe a couple of years younger, where he knew what he was there to do. Get involved with the coaching. Yes, and you haven't got, the big mopey Belgium hanging around you. But then, all things being equal,
he's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine to be doing that sort of thing. Last thing is the Coutinho clause, which came out yesterday, this idea that there's a deal where there's €100 million premium on any Liverpool player until 2020.
See, here's the thing on this. Can we waive that if we wanted?
Yeah, so if they came in for someone who wanted to get shut off.
Yeah, see you later, lad, imagine being that player and what that's going to do to you morale. Yeah. See, I'll be coming, mate. We'll have a little chat here.
Barcelona have had a look. They're not prepared to pay 108 million. They will pay 8.
I wouldn't even tell him and let him find out himself,
Yeah, there's no premium for you, but no, 100. It's only now 2 more transfer windows. That's the thing I will point out. But I think it sounds like it's interesting that if Liverpool are going to go down that sort of route occasionally when they sell, I am intrigued by it. In that, how would it actually stand up in theory? So if there was another Coutinho who was desperate to go to Barcelona and the deal wasn't going to be 140 million, but it was going to therefore be 240 million, literally, if that Coutinho was saying, listen, I want to go at all costs, is Jurgen really saying, well, they're not prepared to pay 240 million for you, but they'll pay 140 million for you? Or would that be phased over time? Or
I think the fact that Barcelona acquiesced to it anyway tells you everything you need to know, because the easy message to the player is, because when players are of that value, the team that wants them's promising the earth. Yeah. We really want you. You're our number 1. We're going to build this around you, that around you. To then come back and go, but we don't want to pay that premium. That kind of muddies the waters a little bit. So no, I think it's innovative. I think it's certainly innovative. Whether it's stand up in court or, someone went on strike. You look at the Neymar thing when he left Barcelona to go to PSG. But no, it's quite impressive, quite innovative, and I'm intrigued on what else we've got going on with these little.
All over the place,
these
very complex.
Little deals.
Yeah, just that loan to Tranmere took 17 lawyers, 14 days work for your man there.
Lawyers got to eat.
Lawyers have indeed got to eat. That is true. Can't argue with that. Releases today.
Atkinson. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those officers don't come cheap.
They really don't.
We looked at them.
Can guarantee that for you. Releases today, we've got Alphabet Soup coming out to the belter. It's O, and there's more going on than you think. And the Friday show is also coming out later on today. Already got a couple of callers lined up. Really excited about that one. We've got, for that one, we're going to be talking West Ham, we're going to be talking Fulham, we're going to be talking Man City. We've also got Newcastle, the full hit, the perfect Premier League preview show for any Liverpool supporter. That'll be coming out about 8 o'clock tonight-ish. They're always ish, these things. What is an ish is tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Andy Heaton gets the weekend ready for you. 7 a.m. on a Friday, a free show to start. It's your Friday breakfast show. You can't ask any more than that. That is everything that's to come on Tour Player. It's £5 a month. You know it's worthwhile. See you in a bit.